Hi, this is the Love and Money Show. And today I would like to talk to you about financial freedom. And I would like to introduce the concept of financial freedom and the FI number for those who may not be familiar with it. Some people find out about this earlier, some people find out about this later, and some people never. Some people will never find out. So, financial freedom, what is it? So, financial freedom is when your assets cover all of your expenses. So, you're no longer working for money. So, say for example, your expenses are $5,000 a month. Now, ordinarily, you would get up and go to work every day so that you can pay these bills of $5,000 every month. And so, if anything were to happen, like you were to lose your job or to get laid off, then you would no longer be able to pay the $5,000 worth of bills. So essentially, you are dependent on a job to pay this $5,000 expenses every month. However, in financial freedom, you do not have to work and you can still have these bills paid every month. And that is because you bought assets. An example of an asset is rental property. So you have enough assets to cover all of your expenses. And that is what financial freedom is. So it doesn't depend if you're not working, if you are in the hospital, or if you're on maternity leave, whatever the situation is, your bills are paid because you have enough assets to cover all of your expenses. So add up all of your expenses and tell me what they are. How much money do you need every month to pay your bills? And that will be different for each person. For some, it may be as low as 2,000 a month. For others, it may be 5,000 a month, and for others, it may be more. So, like I said before, financial freedom, you don't have to work for money anymore. You have enough assets to cover all of your expenses. And so, say for example, you go out and you buy a bunch of rental property. So, what you would do is you would figure out how much rental property do I need to buy that would generate $5,000 for me every month. After you figure that out and you take the action to obtain it, from that point on, you are financially free. Now, that is one way to obtain financial freedom is the asset of rental property. The other way to obtain financial freedom is investing in the stock market. So, the way the stock market works is you contribute to the stock market each time you get paid. Compound interest is working, that money is making money. And then, after a certain period of time, you would have accumulated enough money so that in the end, you can withdraw enough money every month to cover your expenses. So, when it comes to the stock market, what people are generally looking for is their FI number. FI is your financial independence number. And I'm going to briefly go over how to calculate your FI number. So, in the FI number, you add up all your expenses for the month. So, say for example, you spend $5,000 every month for your expenses. This is how much you spend every month. So what you're going to do is multiply that by 12. This is how much you need per year, 60,000. What you're going to do is multiply this number by 25. 1.5 million. This is your FI number. If you choose to go the stock market route, if your bills are 5,000 a month, your FI number is 1.5 million. At this point, you no longer have to work. And it is calculated a 4% withdrawal. So you would withdraw 4% every year, and that will cover all of your expenses. The way this works is that this money is growing on its own. So it grows in perpetuity. It never stops growing. That's the interesting thing about this stock market. This value never stops growing. If you can imagine, you take 4% out for the year to live off on, but this keeps growing. You take another 4% out next year, but this keeps growing. The following year, you take 4% to live off on. This keeps growing. It grows in perpetuity. So that is how you calculate the FI number. And that's how it works when it comes to investing in the stock market. So there are generally different paths to take on how to get to financial freedom. Some choose the investing route in the stock market, and their goal is achieving this FI number. For other people, they choose this real estate route, and the goal is to live off of the monthly cash flow from these rental properties. And then another way to achieve it is through business, having a successful business that will generate enough profit to live off every year. However, this path of real estate is a lot of work in the beginning, but after you have it set up and you have your systems in place, the real estate is a business, but it's a passive business. The business on this hand that you decide to set up, if you are still working, it's kind of like you're still working a job. You're just working for yourself. Real estate is passive. If you choose this route, the stock market, you have this tendency of up and down. We're in the bear market, we're in the bull market. I don't know. Do I really trust this thing here? The real estate, stable. The business, it's yours, but you may be working just like you would work a job. You're just working for yourself. Of course, you could hire employees and do it that way. So there are these different paths you can take to get to financial freedom: stock market, real estate, business. Now, the majority of people are doing a combination, and that's where you get the multiple streams of income. So you're not reliant on just one thing. But that is just the definition of financial freedom. Some people are aware of it, but the majority of people are not aware of financial freedom because we're taught that we need to go to school, get a good education, get a job, work until you're 65, retire, and then enjoy your life. But there's some people doing this stock market thing. They're retired at 30. I interviewed a person who is retired at 30. There's some people doing this real estate thing. They're retired at 38. I interviewed a guy who retired at 38. There are some people doing this business thing, and then they are becoming financially free that way. So you have these different paths to get there. But if you don't even know the path exists, um, a lot of people don't know that it exists. They don't know about financial freedom and they aren't on the path to financial freedom. So I just thought I would come in and share that with you, share the concept. Some people are aware of the concept, but the vast majority of people are not aware of the concept of financial freedom. So this is a Love and Money Show. If you like the show, please share it with one other person. Please hit the big red subscribe button if you're new to the channel and the notification bell so that you won't miss an episode. Hit the like button, it helps the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your night.